Hi, I'm Mia Lynn, and for my recipe for science and cooking, or my project for science and cooking, I experimented with the function of vinegar in poached eggs. So basically, what I did was I created different water solutions that had different concentrations of vinegar in it, ranging from no vinegar to 2.8%, 8.1%, 12.8%, and then I made a solution that was 25% vinegar. I also actually poached an egg in just vinegar as a control. So I put that egg in vinegar and let it sit for 14 and a half hours, no heat added. And what ended up happening was the egg looked like an egg without a shell. It stayed in a contained form, and the egg white was almost like a sphere from spherification, but the inner part of the egg was totally raw. But that was just kind of a fun little aside. Really, what I found was that when you add vinegar to the cooking process in poached eggs, it actually increases the elastic modulus of the egg, and that's likely due to the way that the pH is affecting the proteins coagulating. So the increase in H plus ions is causing the amino acids to coagulate because they're kind of repelling each other and coming out of their form and then sticking together in new forms where new crosslinks are forming, and it's becoming a little bit denser, I guess you could say. So basically, an egg with no vinegar added at all had an elastic modulus of 3,160, and an egg that was poached in a 25% vinegar solution was 19,750. So there is definitely a correlation, and I didn't have any outliers in my data except for the egg that I didn't cook, so I wasn't really counting that one. But it was super interesting to see that pH really affects the egg in this way. And as an extra kind of experiment, I was really interested in knowing what happens when you have a solution that is a really high pH, because vinegar by itself has a pH of about 2.4. This is distilled white vinegar. So I was like looking for something really basic to try to poach an egg in, and I actually chose Drano, which is a pH of 14, so really, really high pH, which means it is very basic. So when I put the egg in the Drano, what happened was the outer yolk kind of started, the membrane around the outer yolk dissolved essentially, and then the egg started to ooze out in that way, and after only 20 minutes. So I don't recommend trying to cook eggs in Drano, not that you would anyway, but I would say future experiments could look at the relationship of a high pH to cooking foods. And hopefully use something that's not already corrosive like the other ingredients in Drano, which are probably the reason why the egg was disintegrating.